Hare Krishna. I welcome all devotees to Everyday Chant Harinam conference call. Today we are very, very fortunate to have His Grace Prema Rāsa Dāsa Prabhu. Okay. Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances and my Dandavat pranams to all the devotees assembled on the call. I welcome all to Everyday Chant Harinam conference call. Today we are very fortunate to have His Grace Prema Rāsa Dāsa Prabhu from India to enlighten us on understanding Guru Tattva. This is a series going on, and part 4 is today. Before we proceed into session, I just would like to read a quote on chanting of holy name of the Lord. Chaitanya Charitamrita on progressing in spiritual life in different yugas. For progress in spiritual life, the Shastras recommend meditation in Satya Yuga, sacrifice for the satisfaction of Lord Vishnu in Treta Yuga, and gorgeous worship of the Lord in the temple in Dwapar Yuga. But in the age of Kali, one can achieve spiritual progress only by chanting the holy name of the Lord. This is from the purport on Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela 7.76. Devotional service begins with the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra and side by side trying to understand Krishna in truth. Bhagavad Gita 9:20. Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, my Dandavat pranams once again to you. Please take over the session. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you all the devotees for again giving me a chance to serve you all. And so we'll be continuing with the fourth part of understanding Guru Tattva. And I will be sharing the verse number 4 from the 4th canto, 12th chapter, 32nd verse. Okay, I hope that everyone is able to see the screen. Okay, so reading from the 4th canto, 12th chapter, 32 verse. Sacha swarlokam arukshan sulitim jananim dhruva anvasmarad agam hitva dinam yasa trivistapam. Synonyms. So he also swalokam to the celestial planet. Arukshan about to ascend, Suniti, Jananim, mother, Dhruva Maharaj, Anvasmarat immediately remembered, Agam difficult to attain, Hitva living behind, Dinam poor, Yasya I shall go, Sri Vistapam to the Vaikuntha planet. Translation. Dhruva was seated in the transcendental airplane which was just about to start. When he remembered his poor mother Suniti, he thought to himself, how shall I go alone to the Vaikuntha planet and leave behind my poor mother? Purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Dhruva had a feeling of obligation to his mother Suniti. It was Suniti who had given him the clue which had now enabled him to be personally carried to the Vaikuntha planet by the associates of Lord Vishnu. He now remembered her and wanted to take her with him. Actually, Dhruva Maharaj's mother, Suniti, was his Pat Pradarshak Guru. Pat Pradarshak Guru means the Guru or the spiritual master who shows the way. Such a Guru is sometimes called Siksha Guru. Although Narad Muni was his Diksha Guru, initiating spiritual master, Suniti, his mother, was the first to give him instruction on how to achieve the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is the duty of the Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru to instruct the disciple in the right way, and it depends on the disciple to execute the process. According to Shastric injunctions, there is no difference between Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, and generally the Siksha Guru later on becomes a Diksha Guru. Suniti, however, being a woman, and specifically his mother, could not become Dhruva Maharaj's Diksha Guru. Still, he was not less obliged to Suniti. There was no question of carrying Narad Muni to Vaikuntha Loka. But Dhruva Maharaj thought of his mother. Whatever plan the Supreme Personality of Godhead contemplates immediately fructifies. Similarly, a devotee is completely dependent on the Supreme Lord can also fulfill his wishes by the grace of the Lord. The Lord fulfills his wishes independently, but a devotee fulfills his wishes simply by being dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, as soon as Dhruva Maharaj thought of his poor mother, he was assured by the associates of Vishnu that Suniti was also going to Vaikuntha Lok in another plane. Dhruv Maharaj had thought that he was going alone to Vaikuntha Lok, leaving behind his mother, which was not very auspicious because people would criticize him for going alone to Vaikuntha Lok and not carrying him with Suniti, who had given so much. But Dhruv also considered that he was not personally the supreme. Therefore, only if Krishna fulfilled his desires would it be possible. Krishna could immediately understand his mind, and he told Dhruv that his mother was also going with him. This incident proves that a pure devotee like Dhruv Maharaj can fulfill all his desires by the grace of the Lord. He becomes exactly like the Lord, and thus, whenever he thinks of anything, his wish is immediately fulfilled. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjalaşalakaya Çakşurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advait Gadadara Shivasati Gaur Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Yeah, so we have learned many details and different aspects of Guru Tattva, and this is also one of the aspects that I would like to share today. So Prabhupada here in the purport is making a point that the Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, they are not different from each other. And generally the Siksha Guru later on becomes the Diksha Guru. So that's the traditional protocol. Because initially you may have a lot of Shravan Gurus, the devotees from whom you hear, and then later on someone will inspire you a lot from that Shravan Gurus. So that, and then if you establish a connection with that devotee, and then you start taking regular guidance from the devotee, then the devotee becomes your Siksha Guru. And then later on, when you have, because you have multiple Siksha Gurus, you are allowed to have multiple Siksha Gurus. So you may have 4, 5 Siksha Gurus, and then one of them may inspire you the most. So then later on, you may take Diksha from that Siksha Guru. So that's why Prabhupada says that naturally one of the Siksha Gurus becomes the Diksha Guru. So this is the process. This is a natural process. It's very important to connect with the Diksha Guru through their Vani. Basically, the connection is mainly established by whatever they speak, whatever knowledge they are giving. So now see, in ISKCON, everyone is representing Prabhupada. So there's no question of deviation from what Srila Prabhupada is giving to us. They are all repeating Srila Prabhupada, but they have their own unique flavor because all of them are individuals. So the way they will deal with the disciples, that will be different, and their how will for Prabhupada will be different. They have certain services that they would like to render to Srila Prabhupada in their own way. So these are all different things and details. The principle remains the same, that ultimately in ISKCON we are all representing Prabhupada. So in that sense, there are two things, because devotees do get attracted to the teachings, the Siksha of a particular Guru. And at the same time, because everyone is representing Prabhupada, so we may also have this notion that does it really matter if we are taking initiation from anyone in our parampara? Which is quite okay, but you will have to also think about, once you get in touch with the Guru, are you able to follow the instructions of Guru? Are you able to, because the Guru may also give you some personal advice or instruction. And whether you also get attracted to it's a universal application, and at the same time, it is also a localized application. So we cannot just say that, okay, everyone is representing Prabhupada, so does it really matter? Does it, do we really have to bother? Do we really have to put efforts to take, to hear someone, to find out whether we are really inspired and inclined towards some devotee? And does it really matter if we have to wait for a long time? It's also a matter of heart connection. We must be convinced in terms of heart and mind both, not just intellectually, but also through through heart. Both things should be there. Otherwise, if we are convinced only intellectually, then we can never really establish a personal connection with the Guru. We'll always think more in terms of it may become a bit diplomatic also. The dealing may become a bit diplomatic. and a bit selfish also if you are only thinking of connecting with the guru by intellectual connection, like rather than having a personal heart-to-heart connection. And if we are too much established on a heart-to-heart connection without also intellectually being connected with the guru, then later on, if the guru will deviate or fall down, then our heart will break. So then we'll not be able to sustain ourselves. So it is also important to be connected to the guru heart-wise and intellectual-wise, and to know what is the purpose and role of guru. That we have covered in detail in our previous sessions. So we won't go into that. But in general, we must know that generally Siksha Guru and Diksha Guru, they are not different. And there may be some Siksha Guru who are taking your responsibility for the lifetime, or there may be some Siksha Guru who may not have personal connection with you, but just by their instruction, just by their writings, just by their Vani, you get inspired for the entire life. So even though the distance may be, you may keep some distance, like you're not able to access the Guru so much physically, but because you are inspired by his teachings and words, so you may want to consider that Guru as a Siksha Guru also. So these are some of the aspects of Guru Tattva. And I would also like to share a few other things along with this principle. So as I shared earlier, spiritual master in his universal application.
ते आपलं ऍक्च्युली आपलं काम आहे, आपण ते रोज सुद्धा नाही करायला पाहिजे, पण ते रोज करत नाही, ते केलं पाहिजे. हरे कृष्ण घे म्हटलं तर कशाला म्हणे, त्या मुली समोर मला विचारते कशा.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, maybe you can mute Mataji.
Okay. Yeah, so universal application of Guru is already established earlier, and I would also like to share a couple of references from Srila Prabhupada's letters or his Leelas, where he's explicitly stating this point. And this is something which I have already stated earlier, but I will repeat this point. And along with that, there are two other references also, which I think I have not shared. So, okay, so spiritual master is not that a particular man is spiritual master. Spiritual master is a truth. So what is that truth? The truth is samsara dava nandli loka tranaya karuna gana ganatvam. The whole world is in blaze of material pangs, threefold miseries, and a person who is authorized to deliver people from that material pangs is called spiritual master. So this is in a lecture, Sri Vyas Puja, Hamburg, September 5th, 1969. So spiritual master is not a particular man. It is a truth. So what it basically means is spiritual master is a tattva. And that tattva can take different forms. Okay, so the tattva can be a Jeev tattva, it can be Vishnu tattva, it can be Shiv tattva. Any pure devotee can also take that role. So anyone can take that position of being a guru, provided they are obviously fitting the qualification of a guru. Yeah, and this letter I have already read, but I will read it again. In the absolute world, there is no distinction as me or he and I. Krishna and his representative is the same. Just like Krishna can be present simultaneously in millions of spaces, similarly, the spiritual master can also be present wherever the disciple wants. A spiritual master is the principle, not the body. Just like a television can be seen in thousands of places by the principle of relay monitoring. This is Srila Prabhupada's letter to Malti Devi, 28 May 1968. Yeah, now this is okay. Gentlemen, the offering of such a homage as has been arranged this evening to the Acharya Dev, which actually Srila Prabhupada is speaking about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Swami Thakur, and I think he is in the assembly of devotees. So has been arranged this evening to the Acharya Dev is not a sectarian concern. For when we speak of the fundamental principle of Gurudev or Acharya Dev, we speak of something that is of universal application. There does not arise any question of discriminating my Guru from yours or anyone else's. There is only one Guru who appears in infinity of forms to teach you, me, and all others. So Srila Prabhupada, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, the universal teacher, 1936, Bombay. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to share about the universal application of Guru. And at the same time, the Guru is also localized. So when when devotees used to ask Srila Prabhupada that if we get some dreams, and so should we follow those dreams? And if in the dream, if you are giving some instructions, so should we follow those instructions? So Prabhupada said that when the spiritual master is physically present before you, and if he's saying something else from the dreams, then you have to follow the spiritual master's instruction. Physically, who is present before you, not in the form of dream. Yeah, so in that sense, it makes the presence of the spiritual master very personal, right? It is not like something like Brahman effulgence, that it's widespread, and there is no personality behind that. Everything in Krishna consciousness is simultaneously one and different. So Achinta Bheda Bhed. So although the prayers that we offer to the Guru, because the Guru is not available all the time, and then you may be wondering that is my Guru really hearing my prayers? Is he really does he really know about my service? Does he really know this, that? So the Guru may not know everything, but he may definitely, by the inspiration of the Lord, he may know certain things. So in context to this, I would also like to read something from Prabhupada Remembrances, which is written by Siddhanta Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. And this is Govinda Dasi, who is sharing her experience. So I will just read that. So shortly after Prabhupada sent Gaur Sundar and me to Hawaii in 1969, I had to go out and get a job so we could open a temple. After many interviews, I landed a prestigious and well-paying job as an executive secretary. I really focused on this job, working for the vice president of the firm, and at the same time getting up at 4:30 a.m. and chanting all my rounds. We had been in Hawaii less than 2 months and now on the job for a week and a half when I received a telegram from Srila Prabhupada. It stated that he would arrive in Hawaii in a few days. My first thought was that I had to quit my job. There was no one to take care of him. I had just been with him for over a year, cooking, doing the housework, being his secretary and whatnot. And now I had to drop my job and go back to the role that I had before, and one that I never wanted to leave. However, I was very upset because I felt that he was coming too soon. Being on the job for such a short time, all we had were 2 ratchet aluminum pots. I was accustomed to giving Srila Prabhupada the best of Altadena milk, the nicest of everything. We had nothing. When we picked Prabhupada up at the airport in our funky old orange Ford truck, I would not speak to him. Gaur Sundar was driving and Srila Prabhupada was in the middle. I was livid. Hard to believe. I know I was so upset. I thought, how could he do this? I wasn't ready. I was polite, but not particularly welcoming. My mood was I wasn't ready and his arrival was premature. And Prabhupada knew because he always read my mind. This was a mystic opulence of Srila Prabhupada's. Once he wrote me a letter from India. I know your mind. He told me that because the spiritual master is with Krishna at all times, Krishna is in the heart of living entities. And according to what Krishna wants him to know, he can keep up with his disciples in that way. He said that if you think of him, he will think of you. In other words, he can't be limited. He can't be limited like an ordinary person. If the yogis had siddhis, mystic opulences, what to speak of a Mahabhagavat like Srila Prabhupada. After about a day and a half, everything clicked back to our usual schedule. Prabhupada would get up in the early morning and translate. I would fix the breakfast and then he would go for his walk at the beach park. Even though I was upset, life went on and his schedule never missed a beat. It was also our custom that in the evening, Gaur Sundar and I would sit and chant japa in front of the deities. One particular evening, I was sitting right by the altar with Prabhupada's Radha Krishna deities. And Prabhupada was way in the back corner of the fairly large room. I knew my consciousness was still not quite right, and Prabhupada knew it too. As I was sitting there chanting japa and looking at his deities, all of a sudden, a huge wave of realization came over me. A feeling of bhakti, of love, of wanting to serve, of divine love. It just washed over me and flooded my consciousness. With tears pouring down my face, I realized that I had lost the essence of bhakti. Although I was standing all the rounds and following all the principles, I had lost the feeling. You can be doing the external stuff and lose the connection. I then realized it was because I had started thinking I was a doer. I was starting to think you have got to work hard to succeed in this world. I felt I am the doer, and this is a philosophy that's promulgated throughout our society. It's all about you, and you have got to do it. This had actually poisoned my consciousness. Krishna had left my consciousness without my even knowing it. And all of these realizations are flooding my mind and my heart. And all of a sudden, I realized also, this is why Prabhupada came to Hawaii. He was finishing me out again. He was fishing me, sorry. He was fishing me out again because he could see from Los Angeles where he was. He could see what was happening, so he came to save me. In the meantime, Prabhupada is way in the back of the room behind me, and of course, he can't see my face. I slowly turned my head around to look at him, and he was looking at me very intensely. He didn't say a word, but he just nodded his head as if he had read my mind and was confirming my realizations. That's all. Not a word was ever spoken. That's a divine transmission. That's what an acharya can do. He can enter into your mind and your heart and completely rewire you. That's the most incredibly mystic experience I ever had with Srila Prabhupada. Jai. So this is what we can understand. Whenever Krishna wants to inspire the acharya or the guru, then from within he will provide knowledge. In this context, there is also another example of His Holiness Shivaram Swami Maharaj. So I was just hearing one podcast of his recent podcast, and I think some devotee asked him this question, which had, I think, many devotees had asked earlier also, about whether the guru knows everything, whether the guru understands and he can read the mind and he knows everything. So then Shivaram Maharaj, he said that he gave again the same answer, that whenever Krishna inspires, then the guru will probably know things. And then he shared his own example, that how one time Krishna inspired him about a particular disciple, and then Maharaj asked his secretary or his personal servant to check and follow up with that disciple. And whatever was communicated to Maharaj from within was exactly confirmed by the external inquiry. So the same thing was happening, whatever was revealed to Maharaj from within. So this is how Guru Tattva works. Krishna will definitely inspire Guru, all the Mahabhagavat Vaishnava or a pure devotee of the Lord from within. And so it's not necessary that it can only happen in the state of bhav or prem. It can also happen at intermediate stages. There is one purport I think I had already shared, that in this purport Prabhupada says, if we serve the spiritual master sincerely, if we follow the instructions of spiritual master very sincerely, and if the spiritual master is not with us, then the Paramatma from within will actually guide us obviously by the mercy of the spiritual master. So what the spiritual master does is he connects the devotees with the Paramatma. So it's a network, right? This is something which I've already discussed. Again, Guru is not the principal, Guru is the principal, is not the body. So the role of a pure devotee, role of a genuine guru, bona fide guru, is he wants to make sure that the disciples, they love Krishna. And they want the disciples to advance in Krishna consciousness. That's the primary goal of any guru. So whatever it takes to make them advance, if they are sincere, then he will make all the arrangements. Or you can say Krishna is the ultimate guru, Lord Balaram, Nityananda is the ultimate guru. They will make all these arrangements. It's not necessary that Diksha Guru, Siksha Guru, or any pure devotee, they must know about you, because Krishna is actually the one who is recording all our activities and desires and whatever service we are entering. So he is the one who actually makes the arrangements. And at a particular point of time, he may inspire that guru to reveal about the disciple. So this is why I wanted to share. And another interesting concept about, we say many times, and it is also described, right? We know that devotees, they generally say that the relation between the disciple and the guru is eternal. So how to understand this? So let's take two examples. One from external point of view, one from internal point of view. Let me share it. Okay. So again, this is from Srila Prabhupada remembrances by Siddhanta Prabhu, and Hansadut Prabhu is sharing his experience with Srila Prabhupada. Once I asked Srila Prabhupada, is it possible that a devotee's relationship with Krishna is preaching, and that devotee remains in this world to preach? He doesn't go back to Godhead. Before I could finish, Prabhupada said, yes, the acharyas never go back to Godhead. They remain in the material world, traveling from one planet to another planet, preaching Krishna consciousness. I said, since the acharya is a pure devotee, then isn't he simultaneously in the spiritual world, even while he's preaching in the material world? So it doesn't make any difference that apparently he is in the material world. Prabhupada said, yes, something like that. So from this example, we can also clearly understand how devotees, they have eternal relationship with their guru, right? So from this example, externally one can make out that because the acharyas, they never go back to Godhead, they are always preaching from one universe to another universe. The disciple, being being an ideal disciple or a perfect disciple, he also would like to serve the guru wherever the guru is. He will never say that, well, my guru is preaching somewhere and I would like to go back to Godhead. That is not the mood of a true, real, ideal disciple. So ideal disciple will always think that Gurudev, wherever you are, would like to assist you. So he will also go in the universe where the guru is going, right? So that way, and this happens eternally. So as Prabhupada says that the acharya never goes back to Godhead. So what is the meaning of that? It does not mean that the guru, acharya, or the disciple, they are taking different lifetimes. They are conditioned. No. After attaining perfection also, they may keep traveling from one universe to another universe. And in that way, the relation becomes eternal, because this takes place for eternal time. This is from external point of view. And second, from internal point of view, when it is said that Janme Janme Prabhu se Divya Gyana Hriday Prakashito, so what does it mean when we say that the relationship is eternal? Now, this concept of the eternal relationship in the spiritual world also is in reference and context with Siddha Pranali. Siddha Pranali, or the bestowal of Ekadash Bhav to the disciple. So this concept of Ekadash Bhav was actually started by Dhyan Chandra Goswami, who was a disciple of Vakreshwar Pandit, and his disciple Gopal Guru Goswami. So they had started this Ekadash Bhav system, where a guru is bestowing the 11 identities of a disciple in the spiritual world. So for example, a disciple, his rasa with Krishna is in Madhurya Ras. So he has a particular form, he has particular color, he wears particular clothes, he is dressing in a particular style. Then there are certain physical features, there are certain services they are rendering. So like that, these are 11 identities of that particular devotee in the spiritual world in his perfected form. So this is revealed by the guru to his disciple. So when the guru is revealing to the disciple these Ekadash Bhav, so it is assumed that the disciple is going to assist the guru in the spiritual world because they belong to the same rasa, right? See, generally a guru will only reveal these Ekadash Bhav to the disciple if he knows that the disciple is also in the same rasa as me. So it is obvious. Otherwise, he will not be able to reveal these details. Because a guru eternally in the spiritual world, if we are in Sakyaras, then we follow someone who is in Sakyaras. If we are in Madhurya Ras, we serve and follow someone who is in Madhurya Ras. So if the guru has the same rasa and disciple has the same rasa, then the relationship becomes eternal. So it was assumed that earlier it was assumed, because this concept of Siddha Pranali was there, Ekadash Bhav was there, that the guru is supposed to reveal this identity to the disciple. So obviously the rasa is going to be same, and the disciple is naturally going to assist the guru in the spiritual world in their perfectest forms, in their vastu siddhis. So that's how the relation becomes eternal. So these are two ways how we can understand the relationships can become eternal. Okay, so now I would also like to share one more interesting thing, which I did share with you earlier. One of the etiquettes, like, because Krishna Narari Sarkar has written a wonderful book explaining the concept of Guru Tattva, and in one of the verses he does explain, which I think I did share with you earlier. He says that in Kali Yuga, all Uttamadhikaris will also be bewildered, and they will not be able to understand the revelation of the Vedic scriptures. So I just would like to share that reference also, because that's very important. One second. Okay, so this is from verse number 3 and 4 of Krishna Varnamrita. And it says, during this Kali Yuga, when the time of Lord Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu's transcendental pastimes become unmanifest, their lordships become the object of transcendental research and discussion. At that time, all level of devotees, including Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Kanishta, shall always be in anxiety, and it will be at all times. They shall almost feel uncertainty in their hearts regarding the correct understanding of the eternal truths of devotional service. Right? So that's very interesting. And we can clearly understand that it's only because of the influence of Kali Yuga that even Uttamadhikaris are probably not able to easily understand the eternal truths of devotional service. Okay, what are the conclusions? So it is possible that it may be the influence of Kali Yuga. We can relate to this because we see it happening also. So we may wonder sometimes that, okay, why are devotees not able to reach a common conclusion, especially because we have Srila Prabhupada, obviously as a founder Acharya, he was like the absolute instructor for all of us. So whatever Prabhupada said, we followed that. But now Prabhupada being not present in the material world, and then he has formed a GBC where there is no single Acharya, single devotee who's actually governing. So we have a body, and in that body we have so many devotees. And so there is the concept of majority wins basically. So whatever majority decides, that will be executed in the GBC resolution. So that's how we actually can relate that it is possible by the influence of Kali Yuga that it does not mean that devotees, they are not very advanced. Although there is a majority happening in the GBC, and then there are so many other exalted Vaishnavas. So we will wonder that, oh, I thought that this Vaishnava is so exalted, but then his opinion is not taken so seriously. And the opinion of so many others are taken seriously, like as a majority. So we may doubt, we may wonder about that. But this is something which will help us to strengthen our faith and to also understand that Uttamadhikaris can also get bewildered sometimes. Okay, all right. So I would like to take questions now, and there are other aspects of Guru Tattva which I would like to cover later. I mean, in this class itself, but maybe we can take some questions related to the topic that we discussed till now. No one has any question or comment? Everyone understood? Okay, so then we'll proceed. Okay, now I wanted to discuss, I think today we'll be able to finish the topic of Guru Tattva. And I wanted to just touch upon certain topics which I felt was important, because these are all practical issues, and it will be helpful for devotees if they can understand. So the topic is the practicalities of selecting the Siksha Guru or Diksha Guru. Now, there are many confusions, questions arising in the mind and hearts of devotees about how to select a Guru, and also being practical about it, right? So see, you may get to know about a particular Guru, and you may hear about that Guru, and you may hear things like he's very advanced, very exalted Vaishnava, Mahabhagavad devotee. You may hear all such things from someone, right? And then obviously you also would like to hear from that Guru directly. And you may also develop inclination to take guidance and siksha from that devotee. But the issue is that the guru may not be available physically, and he may not visit your zone also regularly. So then what happens is, because we have different zones, the GBC has divided zones, and most of the gurus, they have their own zones. So their own zone means it's not that they think that this is my zone or this is your zone, nothing like that. For the matter of practicality and ease, they are traveling to certain zones because they cannot travel in the entire world constantly, regularly. And in order to make disciples, it's a very big task. It is not just something that happens by miracle. And they have to sustain the disciples' Krishna consciousness. So they have to regularly guide them. And whenever we try to preach to some new people and we make them devotees, the most challenging issue is that we have to face with their problems and difficulties that they are facing in their life. Because all of them, they will come up with a lot of problems, issues, and they want guidance in so many areas. So it is not possible for a guru to guide more than, let's say, if a guru is a normal, or like normal guru is not like really coming from spiritual world or something like that. He's also advancing, he's an advanced Vaishnava, but due to some practical constraints, he's not able to guide more than 50, 100 disciples. So they all have their limit. Okay, everyone is limited. They are not Krishna, they are not God. So everyone is limited in terms of providing and sharing the knowledge of Krishna consciousness to others. And so there are gurus who will guide you from the absolute platform, which means basically they will just share whatever is there in the scriptures, Shastric knowledge they will give, they will share whatever Prabhupada said, but they may not be able to guide devotees on a subjective way. So in terms of objective way, they may be able to guide from a transcendental platform, but from subjective perspective, they will not be able to guide the devotees. Which means for your situation, for some other devotee situation, the guidance will be different in different context. So whatever may be applicable to you may not be applicable to another devotee. So depending on that circumstances, we have to guide devotees in their respective ways. So this can only be possible if we have many devotees who are taking the role of Diksha Guru or mentors or guides. Then they can help us and they can connect with the Diksha Guru. So now the issue is that we are not able to select a guru, although we are inspired by a guru, but due to physical distance and due to hardly any association, we may not be able to take Diksha. I mean, devotees think like that. It's not that everyone, most of the devotees, they want physical personal association of the guru. And if they do not get it, then they become frustrated. So they want some connection with the guru, right? So this is a practical scenario where you may be attracted to a particular guru, but you may be in a zone where some other guru is more frequently visiting. And in that particular temple, you'll have disciples of the other guru, maximum disciples of other guru. So there may be some variation in the mood also, in the way they serve. So there will be different devotees. They will be having different moods, taste, and they will render service in a different way. And you may not feel compatible with that. So these are all the challenges when you take Diksha from outside of your zone, from a guru who is outside from your particular locality. Yeah, but ultimately, it all depends on you finally, what you want to do. If you are inspired, I think inspiration is the main element of connecting with the guru. It is not practicality also. Ideally, it should be the inspiration. If a guru is inspiring you the most in your Krishna consciousness, we should take Diksha from that guru. Although he may be able to give guidance personally or not, but I think that's a common sense principle for connecting with the guru. Because see, guru, as I said earlier, that guru we are not accepting just for show. Just because we want to take Diksha, we should have a name tag and devotees should respect us. We are not taking Diksha for that. We are taking Diksha because we understand the process. We understand what is the meaning of Diksha. Diksha means that you would like to surrender to that devotee. Whenever the Guru will come to you, and if he gives some personal instructions, then we should be willing to follow his instructions. And following will not come when you have enough love for Guru, or if you have enough appreciation and regard for the Guru. And that can only happen when you, obviously, there is personal behavior also, which we have to see. But Vani is the main thing which will inspire a devotee and connect the devotee eternally to the Guru. Like, for example, I am not personally connected with my Diksha Guru, and I think you are all familiar that His Holiness Radhan Swami Maharaj does not give his personal association, especially in India. He may give it abroad, but not at all, he does not give so much personal association. At the same time, my other Siksha Gurus like Shivram Maharaj and Bhanu Maharaj. Bhanu Maharaj definitely is like very personal, but Shivram Maharaj also, he's not, he will also respond personally in his podcast and sometimes on emails also. But it is not that I've met Maharaj many times or we had some long sessions or discussions, or he has guided me intimately or something like that. No, whatever inspiration I've got is from his books, especially in terms of Shivram Maharaj, I've got from his books. Bhanu Maharaj, I have obviously personally interacted with him a lot of times. So there is a personal connection. And then Mahatma Prabhu also. So we have a lot of personal connection. But with Radhanath Maharaj and Shivram Maharaj, it is not so intimately in terms of physical. And they are not even aware of what all services I'm rendering. In the future, there may be an opportunity where I can share, and maybe if they are interested to know, that's a different thing. But there is no personal connection as such. But I take it as a blessing because I am getting trained in my personal understanding, maturity of Guru Tattva, of serving Guru in separation, serving Krishna in separation. Because unless and until you get this mood of serving in separation, you cannot really connect with Krishna also. Because see, the moment Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has recommended is to serve Krishna in separation, right? In Vipralambha. So that kind of feeling, if we are experiencing with the Guru, then it's very easy to experience with Krishna also, because Guru and Krishna, they are simultaneously one and the same, as Prabhupada stated. The amount of love you have for Guru, the same amount of love you also develop for Krishna. Okay, so this, and in the long run also, because you know that the Guru that you are seeing is a physical body, so they may leave at any time. After their disappearance, how are you going to connect with the Guru? So ultimately, you'll have to, at some point of time, you have to connect with the Guru on a universal application. Okay. You have to learn that, and you need to take guidance and association of senior Vaishnavas. Otherwise, if you are only dependent on Guru, if you think that it's my Guru, then you have not understood what is Guru Tattva, what is that the Guru actually desires from us. So the Guru may train you personally in Krishna consciousness, but part of the training is that how you become independent in your Krishna consciousness and how you relate with the Vaishnavas later on. So, there are other systems where the Guru may appear to you in dreams, and he will also guide you through the different Vaishnavas. But ultimately, we understand that Guru is the principle, not the body. So in that sense, it has helped me a lot. Now, for those devotees who are taking too much physical personal association of their Guru, they have to consider this point, because they may become dependent on the Guru. Or in the sense that they may follow, they are nice disciples, they are sincere, they are following the instructions of Guru, but they have not really connected with other senior Vaishnavas, or they have not probably connected well with Siksha Gurus. So this has to be cultivated further. So like this, there may be practical issues of selecting a Siksha and Diksha Guru. It's a challenge. It's not so easy. And then obviously we'll have peer pressure also. Some devotees in some temples, they will keep insisting you that why don't you consider taking Guru or Diksha from this Guru? He's available, he's having good time, he can give you association and this and that. So all these reasons will be there. But I believe that someone who has really connected with the Guru, once they decide that they want to take Diksha from a particular Guru, they will not change it later on. just because we are not getting that physical association, that affection from the Guru, because we have not understood the point then. It's all about connecting with the Vani of the Guru, serving the Vani of the Guru, and then Guru will, it's the responsibility of Guru, he will make arrangements for you, how to advance in Krishna consciousness. And then, so similarly, we can also experience Srila Prabhupada's presence. So Prabhupada also said that I am present in my books. If you want to get my personal association, read my books. Right? Again, it's a Vani. So Vani is more important than Vapu. So these are all, points which are very important on consideration selecting a Guru, Siksha and Diksha Guru. And I would say that the best element of selecting a Guru is through his Vani. So see, when you get inspired by the Vani of a Guru, then you'll always feel something missing when you don't hear from your Guru. So eternally it will establish you. There will be eternal connection. But if you do not focus on the Vani and you try to seek out practical reasons, constraints, you want physical association of Guru, that's why initially you are inspired by someone, but then later on you, just because you are not getting association, you take Diksha from someone else. It's not a good idea, because later on everyone has to become, they have to separate from their Guru at some point of time. So these are some very helpful points that can help one decide which Guru and how to select a Guru. Now, another topic I would like to discuss is Siksha outside ISKCON. Whether it can we take Siksha outside ISKCON, relation between Siksha Gurus, and Siksha and Diksha traditional protocol and exceptions to traditional protocol. So starting with Siksha outside ISKCON. See, when we have a spiritual culture, then there is no concept of organization or a particular sampradaya. The spiritual culture is always transcendent to all of these things. Whatever we are seeing in the material world, it has to be manifested, because for ease, for practicality, things have to be there. So whenever there is a parampara sampradaya, the organization basically represents the teaching of that particular sampradaya or organization. So that's why we have this ISKCON, and ISKCON is ultimately a branch of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Gaudiya Vaishnavism is branch of Vaishnavism, right? So all these different sampradayas, they are all connected to one main tree, which is Vaishnavism. So we'll have Madhva Sampradaya, we have Brahm Sampradaya, we have Rudra Sampradaya, we have Kumar Sampradaya, we have Sri Sampradaya. All these sampradayas, they are connected to one tree, which is Vaishnavism. So, and if you notice, we also in ISKCON and Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we also observe the appearance and disappearance of Nimbarkacharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Vishnu Swami, right? So obviously, what does that mean? It means that we do definitely appreciate the teachings of all these different sampradayas, but we should know what is the standard which Srila Prabhupada has set for ISKCON. And Srila Prabhupada, being the current Acharya, is actually the filter of teachings. So Srila Prabhupada has given a particular mood in ISKCON. He has represented Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a particular way, which other devotees from different sampradayas, they will also present in different ways. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu presented in different ways, in different sampradayas. Within Gaudiya Vaishnavism, Srila Prabhupada has presented Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a particular way. Being his followers, being loyal to Srila Prabhupada, we have to follow his standard. And we have to have 100% faith in the standard that Prabhupada has given to us. So, in principle, the tenets of Bhakti Yoga, they are same, which is basically that we are worshippers of Vishnu, we are eternally servants of Vishnu, and Jiva and Vishnu are different. Okay, we are all part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and we are Vaishnavas. So that remains same in all sampradayas, in all organizations. Only difference is there in the detail. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's emphasis of prachar has been represented by Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON. And in order to flourish ISKCON, in order to preach, Srila Prabhupada has given a particular standard. So what happens is, when we hear from outside of ISKCON, right? So there are so many statements which may oppose that standard, which may contradict that standard. So we have to filter that instructions or statements. We don't have to follow those things. We have to only see the essence of bhakti. So that's why Srila Prabhupada wrote many letters to his disciples, and it's also there in his books, in his purports, that whenever someone from outside ISKCON tried to convince devotees that they should chant 64 rounds, or they should focus more on bhajan, then Prabhupada never wanted that kind of thing to happen. So as long as Srila Prabhupada's standard is followed, we take inspiration from outside sampradayas, from outside Vaishnava sampradayas that can enhance our bhakti. We get inspired by them. We get inspired by so many examples. And it's a good thing because Vaishnavas are broad-minded. They are not narrow-minded. So we may get inspiration from different sources, but we should know how to filter it. Just like Narahari Sarkar also states in Krishna Varnamrita that a devotee may hear from an advanced Vaishnava, a Mahabhagavad, who is probably even more advanced than your Guru. He may hear something from him, but whether to follow or not, that is our choice. So according to etiquette, a disciple should not blind, just because he has heard from some Mahabhagavad, he is supposed to follow that. No, he should go to his Guru, his Diksha and Siksha Guru, reveal to them what he has stated. And if it is not contradicting their instructions, and if your Diksha and Siksha Guru, they are also bona fide, they are genuine, then you may not follow the instructions of that Mahabhagavad Vaishnava. For the timing, you may not follow that instruction. So this is the etiquette. So similarly, in ISKCON, whatever Prabhupada standard he has set, we are supposed to follow that, ideally. And if some other devotee from other sampradaya or organization will come and they will try to make us deviate from the standard, then we should not accept it. Although he may be a revered Vaishnava or be a nice Vaishnava, but it's not necessary that we have to follow that. So Srila Prabhupada is actually the filter. And even within ISKCON also, tomorrow if some guru will start deviating from Prabhupada's instruction, we don't have to really follow that guru. And sometimes it may happen that our own guru may not quote Srila Prabhupada so often, so frequently, and may say something against Prabhupada also. So then the disciple has right to doubt the guru or even question the guru. Because see, for us, Srila Prabhupada is the ultimate authority. He's the founder Acharya. He's the one who has created ISKCON. He's the one who has created devotees. By his mercy, we have got our guru. By his mercy, we have got devotees. So Prabhupada should be the highest authority for us. And if our own guru, tomorrow, if they say something which is not aligned with Srila Prabhupada's statements, then it is absolutely fine to question the guru, to feel some kind of dissatisfaction in the heart that why our guru is saying like this. And if the guru will deviate from Prabhupada's instructions, then we also can reject the guru and we can take another guru. So this is all absolutely fine, because what we need to understand is that Prabhupada is actually our main founding Acharya, and our connection with Prabhupada should be foremost, right? So, so Siksha outside ISKCON should be understood in that way. We need to filter it. If it is contradicting Prabhupada's instructions, then we don't have to, we are not obliged to follow that. Now, the second thing is Siksha and Diksha assists and become okay. Yeah. So see, in certain cases, a disciple may be more connected with the Siksha Guru. He may have taken Diksha from the Guru of his Siksha Guru, because the Siksha Guru has not yet been officially given permission to initiate, or he does not want to initiate in the presence of his Guru. So naturally, the Diksha Guru of the Siksha Guru will become your Guru, because the Diksha Guru is supposed to take, he is supposed to initiate the disciples of the Siksha Guru. So in that sense, in that context, your affection for the Siksha Guru will be more prominent, because you have always been connected closely with the Siksha Guru. So it is possible that you may have more affection for, or more inclination to hear from the Siksha Guru. So in that case, what happens? The traditional protocol will reverse. in the traditional protocol, the Diksha Guru is the main limb, and then the Siksha Guru are supposed to be assistants of the Diksha Guru. So it all, see, all this is all dependent on the disciple's connection. If the disciple is more inclined towards the Siksha Guru, then Siksha Guru takes the more prominent role. And Diksha Guru is supposed to become assistant of the Siksha Guru. So what does that mean? It means that the instructions given by the Siksha Guru should be assisted by the Diksha Guru's instructions also. It should not contradict. Okay, so Siksha Guru, they are all supposed to cooperate, and they are all supposed to guide the disciple to clear their confusion, not to confuse them. The entire purpose of this Guru system culture, Guru Tattva culture, is to help the disciple to purify, to connect with the Lord, not to confuse them. So, in certain cases where Diksha and Siksha Guru, they disagree with each other, in details they can disagree, which is fine because every devotee is individual. But in terms of principle, they are supposed to be aligned. So they have to cooperate with each other, and they have to come with a conclusion for the disciple. Okay, so Siksha Guru can assist or Diksha Guru can assist. They can reverse roles. It all depends on the prominent Guru for the disciple. Now, again, in terms of ISKCON, in the context of ISKCON and Srila Prabhupada is the main Siksha Guru, the preeminent Siksha Guru for all of us. But we have other Siksha Gurus also, and we may be inclined and attached towards those Siksha Gurus. So in that case, again, we have to see whether the Siksha Gurus and the Diksha Guru, they are all aligned with Srila Prabhupada. So that is also very important. And finally, relation between Siksha Gurus. So relation between Siksha Gurus is also the same way. The relation between Diksha and Siksha Guru, as well as the relation between Siksha Gurus themselves. So they are all supposed to understand a particular situation, and they are supposed to mutually decide. Like, for example, you may go to a particular devotee, you may have 3-4 Siksha Gurus, and you may consult with all of them. And you will see that they are all giving you different advice on on a particular topic. They are giving you different advice. So you may be confused. So in that case, when you discuss wholeheartedly with all the gurus, and the gurus can understand your situation, then they can resolve it for you. Okay, so if there is a difference, that can be resolved. So some resolution has to be there. What will be for your benefit ultimately? So that has to be resolved. And certain times, certain things cannot be resolved because they are all individual. So in terms of details, if you are asking questions with regards to details, then obviously you will get different answers. But if you are asking questions which are in terms of Siddhant philosophy, then you must get a same answer like that. Or sometimes there may be some multiple answers also. So because like Achinta Vedavel, it's inconceivable. So you may have different answers. So yeah, with this we conclude our Guru Tattva session, part 4. I don't think anything else is remaining now. So now if devotees, they have any questions or comments, please feel free to ask.
Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji. Thank you so much for wonderful sessions.
Okay, any question, comment?
I was saying same thing. Thank you so much for all the sessions and preparation, and you gave us this knowledge about the Guru, Shiksha Guru, and so much more. Manindra Prabhu, do you have a question? I thought I just like interrupted him. We spoke at the same time. Prabhuji, go ahead if you have question.
I think he's got disconnected probably because I cannot see him on screen.
Okay. So Prabhuji, like in your class, you were mentioning that you said that, sometime for show people, they want to show we have a guru, like a status kind of a symbol is there. But at the same time, we also hear that, like, how does the guru come in our life? It is like a correction, right? somehow we have prayed to Krishna because of some difficulty or some material situation, and then we pray to Krishna and Krishna brings the guru, right? So it's like if I hear this from you, sometimes I feel, is it I did this? Did I get guru because I'm looking for some name of fame? But at the same time, I'm thinking, no, but I was praying to Lord Nityananda. I was praying to Krishna, and then so it's like kind of a confusion where I cannot myself find out why I got a guru. So how do we understand this aspect? Like, generally, what is the demarcating line between the two? Because generally, what I would say is when suddenly, you come in front of your Guru Maharaj and is ready to give you initiation. So, it comes like a shock to you, and you were aspiring, or you just wanted to take shelter. So, was there some kind of a name and fame attached to that aspiring, or, it's very hard to tell actually, because when we hear this, like I'm repeating, that, all along, definitely all devotees told us in the beginning, we have to pray to Krishna. So we were doing that also. So is it like some kind of a mixed situation? So can you highlight something on that?
Yeah. So I think you are talking about before getting initiation. And yeah, it is rightly said that through Guru we get Krishna, and through Krishna we get Guru. So first we get Guru through Krishna because in the beginning we don't have connection with any Guru or any devotees. So we joined ISKCON, then we came in contact with devotees, and then we started hearing from Guru, different devotees. So it is in the scripture it is said that Krishna is the one who sends Guru, and he is in your heart, and he sends Guru and all that. Yeah, I think it's. I would say that if a devotee is extremely sincere in his desire to serve the Lord, that's the only desire of a devotee, then Krishna will send Guru. Then we can say like that. But I think in ISKCON, I don't think it is applicable for everyone, because we take initiation without maturity, and we cannot even blame ourselves for that. The system is like that. Prabhupada also, when he went to the US, so he started initiating devotees, disciples who are like, practicing just for 1 or 2 months or 3 months, 6 months, like that. Now, where are these disciples? After some time, after Prabhupada's disappearance, they all, even during the time of Prabhupada, they left Krishna consciousness. So now, how do we apply this? That it's Krishna who is sending the Guru, depending on the genuine desire of the devotee. Because if it is for everyone, then how could they leave Krishna consciousness? So, yeah, I can say about this is, what I can say is, because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's special mercy, and because he wanted to preach and he wanted to give chance to all the jivas to take up bhakti, and then by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's empowerment, Srila Prabhupada was sent in order to fulfill his desire, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire of Prithvi Aje Nagaradigrama Sarvatra Prachar Vaivindra Nam. That was fulfilled by Srila Prabhupada. So in one sense, the Chaitanya Bhagavat is also talking about the commander-in-chief of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And we think that it is Srila Prabhupada, right? In ISKCON, we believe it is Srila Prabhupada who was actually the commander of Srila Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he has specially come to deliver the Malichas and the Yavanas. And part of that process is to basically give them chance to be initiated, so that at least there will be some seriousness. At least they will think that, okay, now if I don't chant 16 rounds, if I don't follow principles, then I will become some sin, some aparadh to the Guru. And that way they become a bit serious about it. So initially 6 months, 1 year, they would like to practice bhakti, they would like to experiment. And then suddenly the Guru will come and offer initiation. So that means they are just being merciful, so that whoever is practicing and following for some time, they can become steady in their bhakti later on. So that is probably also the need of the time, depending on that, like for example, in the Western countries, we don't have enough devotees. So they all get easily chance to get initiated within a span of 2-3 years. And second initiation also maybe span of 4 to 5 years, which is not that long compared to India. So where there are a lot of devotees, thousands of devotees, there is this long waiting period. And then when there are no devotees, because you want to establish temples, you require pujaris. And pujaris do you require devotees. So first, second initiation has to be given very freely with concession. So I think what is the most important, and I think it is also the conditioning of the devotees also in Kali Yuga, because after initiation does not mean that the devotee has become completely free from all the anarthas. Even like, as you were mentioning about some devotees want to show, some devotees want name and fame of Guru and all that. I think it is quite common. We are not free from the spirit of to acquire name and fame, and we are not free from envy, anger, greed, pride, illusion. It's just the merciful nature of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada, that they are allowing us to get initiated. But I think because Prabhupada also said that initiation is just the beginning, it is not the end, it is the starting point. So after initiation, what you are doing, that is the most important connection with the Guru. So the Guru has mercifully giving you a chance. But now after that, acquiring that chance, like for example, the fortune of receiving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's love, Krishna's love is with everyone. It all depends how you take it on yourself. So the mercy is available to everyone, but then how you take that mercy. So similarly, like when we are discussing about the physical association of the Uttamadhikari, the chance is there, the fortune is there. Like just like Govind Dasi Mataji, she was explaining that when I was in touch with Srila Prabhupada, automatically the environment was also pure. You could feel the vibes, right? So the factors are favorable. We are very fortunate to have association of Mahabhagat, but receptivity also has to be there. If you are not receptible enough, then you may not make any advancement. Just like we have examples of those who were sons of Advaitacharya, those who were the sons of Nityananda Prabhu. Not everyone became a devotee. Sons of Srila Prabhupada, they did not become devotees, children of Prabhupada. Some of the sons of Advaitacharya, they debated from the standard practices of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, because they had faith in, I think they had faith in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but did not have faith in Nityananda Prabhu. Something like that happened. So they debated. So it is not necessary that just by being in the presence of Mahabhagavat, we are going to advance and become Mahabhagavat also. If you follow their instructions, if you take their association seriously, learn from their association, then these things are possible. So receptivity has to be there. So a devotee has to be very genuine in their acceptance. Like for example, see, when Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he had taken Diksha from Prabhupada, it's not that he took immediately. He was offered from Prabhupada also. I think he was given a chance. But he said that, no, first let me be convinced with my heart and my mind, and only after that I will take initiation from Prabhupada, whenever that will happen. So after being philosophically convinced, see, he accepted Prabhupada as a guru in his heart. Heart was convinced, but mind was not convinced. So philosophically, when he heard from Prabhupada that the Lord is existing in both forms, in Parma as the Brahman as well as Bhagwan. So that actually made him accept Srila Prabhupada as his guru philosophically. The mind was accepting that. Okay, so he took initiation from Prabhupada. Even Srila Prabhupada also, he had to wait. I think he waited like almost 11 years to take Diksha from his Guru Maharaj. So real initiation is not the beginning, it is the way we connect with the Guru. So there are some sincere Vaishnavas maybe coming from the previous life, and for them connecting with the Guru is an eternal principle, which means that they are always sincere to the Guru. They are always committed. They are always loyal to the Guru, and they establish a long-term relationship. They follow all the instructions of Guru. But those devotees who are not really, who had taken initiation out of some ulterior motives and desires, so they will be tested along with time. So they are given the chance and opportunity, but after initiation, how they will perform bhakti, that all depends on them. So I hope this answers your question.
Yes, Prabhuji, and also like in my personal case, I was encouraged by my Shiksha Guru that initiation is very important to take. So you can see we have a lot of gurus. So then I was like hearing from a lot of gurus that time. And then of course I met my Guru Maharaj. And the thing is like my Guru Maharaj is Jayapataka Guru Maharaj. Jayapataka Guru Maharaj ki jai. But what happened is that, I was connected more with the disciples of Guru Maharaj. So is it also like when there are a lot of roles playing here, like in the sense that sometimes I've heard that the very close disciples and very senior disciples of a particular Guru Maharaj, they recommend also. So then that way, the person gets like a little shock. Oh, suddenly so-and-so has recommended, but I was not like 100% desiring, but it's okay. I will just go. So, I mean, there could be so many different situations altogether. So I was in that particular situation, then I said, okay, it's important. So, and then one time I remember I'd heard from Prabhupada that, you cannot be in the material and spiritual world. You are in the material world that belongs to Krishna, but you should be like, following all these spiritual practices while living here. It's like being detached, so, and having all those lectures and then having to see that, gurus, it's very important. And so many, actually when we fall in love with Srila Prabhupada and his teachings and everything we like about Srila Prabhupada, that is a time when, we actually love all his disciples and then we become grand disciples. So there are many, I think, many factors that, emotional factors, influence, that brings us to a point where, like, for example, I was very deeply desiring to, serve in the kitchen, cook for the devotees. So that desire was there in me. So sometimes I would pray. Then I said, oh, and then when I go to the kitchen, I was not allowed to cook, at least not be around the fire. So I said, okay, if I have that desire to cook, then if I take my initiation, then, so that was my personal thing, that I wanted to cook and serve devotees in cooking, because whatever talent I had in cooking, I would like to, also practice that. And so devotees are happy eating nice prasadam and even serve the deities. So then, so kind of like, through the Shiksha Guru, through our own desires, everything kind of culminates together and gets fulfilled. So, yeah, but so I just wanted to share some thoughts like that. But thank you so much, Prabhuji. And Prabhuji, like, I know that you end the session now. So either, you can come up with more topics, or you can also continue with our Bhagavatam. We are doing 6-3, I don't know which one is going on right now, 14, I think. A Jamal story. We're doing the Yamaraj's glorification of Lord Krishna. So if you want to continue that, or we can take some other topics. I think one time you were mentioning about deities, deity seva in one of your classes, that we could do a class on that, if I'm able to recollect.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember, but
I mean, any other topic also you want to take, or this, but
I just thought about this topic recently, astrology, karma, and Krishna consciousness.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, so that's fine, Prabhuji. So yeah, that way at least we can hear, and then the thing is, you're sharing the Bhagavatam words. So it's like a Bhagavatam study, Nityan Bhagavatam Sevaya. So it's okay if we do this. Other than that, rest I will also talking to my other seniors in the call, if it's okay for Prabhuji to do some other. But if there's a particular topic that interests everyone, then we can mutually. I will talk to you about that.
See, if you are currently doing discussing about the Ajamil pastime, then I have already detailed class on Harinam Tattva. So we can do that also, because it's connected to Ajamil pastime. So Harinam Tattva also we could do, if it is relevant. And later on, we can also do this class on astrology, karma, Krishna consciousness.
Yes, Prabhuji.
There are so many topics also. Dham Tattva is there.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll continue on that. So you please keep coming on the class once a month at least. That way, we are connected to you and we are also benefiting. And thank you so much for this seva, class giving seva.
Thank you for engaging me in some service.
Hare
And,
Krishna, Prabhuji.
but yeah, it is ultimately up to the authorities. If they want me to continue with the Bhagavatam class verse by verse, that is fine.
That's also
Uh,
fine.
Yeah, but these are all topics which are, I think, devotees, they would like to eager to know about it. So there
Yes,
is tattvas about Leela of the Lord, tattvas about
Yeah.
Dham, then there is Harinam Tattva, then there is, as you mentioned, about deity worship, what standard to be followed, how much deity worship should be done. So these are all different various topics we can do. Then there is the discussion about the Raganuga Bhakti in ISKCON. Are we following Raganuga or not? These are all topics that can be addressed.
Yes, Prabhuji. And one of our speakers was there, who used to come on the call. He would always take a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm sorry, I was taking my prasadam breakfast. So, he was taking, he was always giving like classes, but he would take up topics like, I think I forgot his name. Vanda Malani Mataji introduced him to a call. I think it's Bhadra Prabhu. I don't know. I forgot his complete name. But he would just take up like topics like enviousness, happiness, or something like that. And sometimes we would go out of topic, so he would say, then I won't give class, because he didn't want to go through the normal Bhagavatam, what we are doing. But we used to really enjoy his classes, and a very, very senior person in, I think, south of India, like that. But yes, Prabhuji, then, you let me know whichever series topic you want to do. And, that way we can continue with that.
Yeah, if next, like we can do this Ajamil Harinam Tattva, we can do on
Yeah.
coming
So
class.
that way you will suggest a topic and the verse. So Prabhuji, one more thing, like today, when you gave me the verse, I shared. But if when you're a day before your class, if you can also share the verse, a particular verse you're concentrating on, and whatever topic you're doing, then we can share that also. And
Yeah,
why
I
I'm
mean,
saying that is
in my flyer, I have mentioned it, right?
Oh, I didn't
Understanding
read the
Tattva.
detail. Okay, I didn't read the detail. Did you mention this Bhagavatam verse number also?
Yeah, of course, you can see in the flyer.
Okay, I didn't. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I missed. I was like, more like concentrating on understanding the Guru Tattva, and then I stopped reading after part 4. Okay, that was there. So yeah, that is perfect. That's perfect, Prabhuji. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
way we can, share this, because most people, when they see, okay, we're discussing certain particular verse of Bhagavatam, they like to join. At least, just say, aaj ke din mein we have, read this verse and heard the verse. So yeah.
We do it
Okay.
every time. I mean, I've mentioned Bhagavatam
Yeah.
verse. You see the earlier flyers also. They have
Acha.
the verse number is always there in the flyer.
Yeah, and you know why I overlooked it? Because we are so used to sharing our verses, like 6.13 and then 14, 15, the one we are doing in series, that this comes in as a different verse. So somehow I was just sharing a flyer, but
Okay.
I'll make sure that my eyes go on the verse, so we can share your flyer and the verse and the topic. Topic will already be there in your flyer, right? So
Yeah. And you can also save the link, Zoom link.
yeah,
which I
I'm
have-
going to say every time I ask you for that, because it's like, and I really like that Vanda Malani Manjari Mataji, she quickly, for easy, she added the link without the password. Just click and join. So that link also we can save. Yeah. Okay, Prabhuji. I think we almost it's 8:45 here. We have Wednesday morning engagements. But if anybody has comments, then otherwise we can end the call.
Okay. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhu bhaivacha patidana pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namah. Thank you all the devotees again for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna, Dhamma Pranam.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.